Originally, this rant was supposed to be unscripted, so I could convey my true emotions in their rawest form about this sorry excuse of a killer. Now I'm writing a script, because some of the things I said can't be repeated here. Out of the 7 current killers in Forsaken, soon to be outdated by Falling Azure's release, I enjoy playing against some more than others, and I like playing some killers more than others. So I've created 2 lists here just to show my preferences. Both lists are incredibly different from each other, besides one tiny detail. 1x is always at the bottom. Call me Shedletsky the way 1x is my malice and my hatred incarnated. Like seriously, I genuinely despise playing as and against this good-for-nothing Shedletsky hating bullshit magnet of a killer. So, I'm gonna rant about him. His kit, how I'd fix him, and why I'm making this video in the first place. Let's go over his kit. 1x's whole gimmick is that he's the projectile killer, meaning that his kit is primarily projectiles. His M1 is simple, with about a 0.4 windup, inflicting 20 damage instantly and 8 damage over time via poison. He also applies another effect called Glitched, which conceals your stamina and allows for some bonus damage and bonus benefits in some other moves. 1x's quote-unquote main ability is Mass Infection, a large projectile that has 30 damage, 38 more due to poison, and is his big hitter move. If the survivor is glitched, then an additional 10 damage will be dealt. 48 in total, in case you can't do math. It can be hit close range for an extra 25 damage, but that's not very relevant for this rant now, is it? Unstable Eye is 1x's indicator, but it also acts as a way to catch up and chase, giving him a small speed boost and blindness upon use. Its primary purpose is to show where everyone is, and to make hitting projectiles through walls easier, your standard indicator. Rejuvenate the Rotten is a move that turns all dead survivors into minions that can deal 15 damage upon hit to a survivor. These minions are often used to apply pressure and cut off loops to survivors. So far, all of this is alright. A high damaging projectile with a short cooldown is a tad concerning, but it's nothing big. And those of you with unstable eyes will have noticed that I left one move out of his kit, and oh my god, I'm gonna talk about it. Oh my god. I hate Entanglement. I hate the poorly designed, improperly tested Balan in Wonderland ass move. This move is a small projectile, which does 10 damage to the survivor and stuns them for 1 second upon contact. This wouldn't be that bad if this move didn't drag the survivor towards the killer. This move allows 1x to M1 the survivor before they can move and regain all of the distance the survivor has made on them. I actually came up with a new name for this move called the Instant Chase Winner move. To add more salt into the wound, this move gets stronger if the survivor has glitched, the pull getting even more reach. Entanglement is one of the reasons I'm making this video because of how much I despise this sorry excuse of a move. Other killers have a way of catching up. Slasher has Raging Pace, Cool Kid has Walk Speed and Corrupt Nature, John Doe has Spikes, Noli has Nova, Void Rush, and Observant, but you get the point. These moves are all genuine ways to catch up, and not just the you win chase if you get lucky enough move. 1x is completely dependent on if he can land his projectiles, which makes him single-handedly the best and worst killer in this entire game. Look at this example I've drawn. If 1x is about to throw Entanglement, there's about a 1 1/3 chance it hits the survivor, because the survivor can either stand still, dodge to the left, or dodge to the right. But, however, assuming your average Joe isn't gonna risk standing still to dodge, then that takes it down to about a 1.5 chance of losing chase immediately and getting hit by Entanglement. Second bad voiceover of the video, but the way the other killers work is that they actually have to try to catch up and chase to win. 1x is just a free win button. Look at this other diagram. Let's assume the killer and survivor both have max stamina, and the survivor is full health. Assuming the survivor and killer are both actively running away from each other, it should make it a fair chase considering the survivor has a fair amount of distance. However, when 1x uses Entanglement, he gains just a little bit of his stamina back, and removes most of the distance, if not all of the distance, between the survivor and himself. This wouldn't be a problem if the 1X had to use some stamina to reach the survivor, but 1X uses such a tiny amount that it doesn't make a difference anyways. If you waste stamina while removing the distance you make from it, then it doesn't matter, and the 1X just wins chase no matter what. Take a look at these clips, which I'll explain with subtitles. Completely disregarding the subtitle part I just said, and with the really obvious voiceover, which I'm doing without a script, this clip actually shows just how inconsistent 1X can be. Because if you'll notice at the start of the clip, I landed a mass infection and entanglement and dealt like a ton of damage. But now, look, the Veronica's on 1 HP, and when I can't land any of my projectiles, and yeah, sure, I have my M1s, but guess what? I suck at this game. And the funny thing is, I end up losing. So even though I complain about 1X being overpowered, he's just incredibly inconsistent. Hit or miss. He's like the chance of killers. It's all gambling. Now, I'm no expert on balancing or reworking bullshit characters, but it would be rude for me not to try. Mass infection will remain mostly unchanged. Nerf the bonus damage from 40 to 35 when it hits a glitch survivor. Unstable Eye is perfect the way it is, so I think it's good. And minions should have a total lifetime of 90 to 120 seconds to make sure they aren't a nuisance the entire game. For entanglement, I have two possible solutions. You can either A, remove or weaken the pole entirely, that way 1X has to use more stamina to claim his free M1, or just remove entanglement altogether and replace it with something else. Finally, my motivations. Why I spent this long making a video. Why I spent an hour, which is probably a lot, trying to design the perfect thumbnail. Let me just say, for the past week, my lobbies have been full of dirty and filthy 1X mains. I am sick and tired of playing against entanglement, and I am sick and tired of seeing these 32-day players think that they're actually good at the game. This video is all of my pent-up anger, frustration, and pettiness that I have developed towards this sorry excuse of a killer. I am sick of playing against killers with an instant chase ender, and you should be as well. I rest my case. Hey, thanks for watching the video until the end. This is my first time making a rant like this, and I do believe 1X needs an overhaul, since no rework can really save this guy. Anyways, thank you for the 20 people who probably are going to watch this video. Unless I get blessed by the algorithm, this is probably just going to be another forgettable video. A way to vent about my feelings against this poorly balanced killer. I don't really have a good conclusion for this, but I'm so glad I made this video. And if this video does end up popping off and getting me a decent amount of views, then until next time.